70% male, and everyone who owned a Tesla made over 100 grand a year. And we really want to change that. So with no previous advertising, Tesla pretty much relied on word of mouth because you have to put down $5,000 to do a test drive. So some people drive cars that are worth less than that. So a lot of people who would buy the car knew that they were going to buy it, so they would have plenty of money to spend on it. And we've been working to change that.
For the rest of the consumer profile, our customers are typically younger people. They tech savvy. They like to be economically friendly. They also have pretty good jobs in the companies. Like I said, 6 figures. Since the car will be sold for 35 grand, it's in the class of the Toyota Avalon, Ford Fusion, and it's also the same class as like an F-150, but it's also a lot more stylish than those. The time, the value, car will attract people from all different ages, income levels, and countries.
And then for our creative strategy, we want to start our first advertising campaign. Like you heard, we've always put all of our money into research and development. So this is kind of new for us, and I feel like we definitely have a pretty strong sense of what we want to go, where we want to go with our advertising campaign. So we want to focus, especially like on our social media accounts, customer stories and feedback from customers as well, so they can post what they're doing with their Tesla, how they use it, and how they're making a difference by having one as well. We also want to have our eco-friendliness in there with our luxuriousness. I mean, you look at a hybrid car like a Prius, you're not really saying too much of an overwhelming car, but you look at a Tesla and it gives you a really, really good image of what our brand is. Ways that we want to do this is kind of like a cash for clunkers type deal with what we've done here recently. Well, not too long ago in the United States, we want to, if somebody brings in a fossil fueled powered car, we want to take that in and maybe give them like a 15% discount or whatever the discount may be, and then we'll take that and be able to either recycle it or do something with that car, so then we can get that car off the roads and out of the market. Other ways we want to do that is like for, which he'll talk about in just a few minutes, or also like on our social media, we want to have some sweepstakes and just your normal like retweet, share, like, post all of this and tell your story, and then a lucky person would get a chance to win one, or however you want to do that.
All right, for our social media, we did some research on Rival IQ, and it turned out that Tesla has a page on all social medias. However, they don't really use it very much. They have Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Google, YouTube. However, there's only been 19 posts ever on Facebook, and there's been even less on the other social medias. So when we're really talking about that, we need to get them to post more. We'll talk about that more in the recommendations. More of the customers could be engaged on social media. They're talking about the fact that we're pushing for a green environment. That's like our target market. And like I said, Rival IQ, we are 16 times on Tesla recommendations for social media platforms. We did all the statistics, and there's really poor engagement on all of it so far because we haven't put any money into advertising dollars towards social media. And the recommendations. We're going to offer contests and giveaways on the social media. There's 1.3 million followers on all of our social medias, which is a really high number for no advertising dollars being poured into it. So giving a couple cars away, maybe one on Twitter, one on Facebook, one on Instagram, to have people like and share, and then one lucky winner will receive a car. That's really low budget to reach millions or maybe even a billion people. And then Tesla needs to connect with the community of green, friendly, wealthy consumers by making a page where people can post pictures of their cars. This is going to build up a community for opinion leaders to kind of take over and help the customer service at Tesla, because that way we don't have to deal with so much clutter, and we can just kind of let the community handle it all themselves. And we also hire some people who work for Tesla to get on there and answer questions, so we don't have as much bad mouthing going on Facebook and social medias.
And since Tesla's so technologically advanced, like, you get updates all the time from Tesla, even if you bought a car like the first model. So you might be sitting at home and then your Tesla already automatically updated, and you could be sitting there and you have no idea what to do, and you don't want to have to go drive all the way to the dealership or I guess there is no dealerships, but You wouldn't, like, you could just go online and maybe someone's already answered that questions, or there's like technicians that work for Tesla that know all the answers that are waiting to answer your questions online. So like a forum like that would really be helpful for people who don't know what to do with their cars.
Any questions?
There's a difference between advertising objectives and marketing objectives. In this case, what are the marketing objectives?
Marketing objectives would be to get more people involved in social media, get them engaged, and have them ultimately buy a car at the end of it.
And also with like our Super Bowl campaign for our ad for the Super Bowl, we want to definitely inform all of our viewers because, like we said, we haven't done anything for marketing like either social media or on television or anything like that. So we want to incorporate that with informing people because we already have a pretty good base just by our brand image and our brand name. So we want to actually kind of more so pound it into the people and get the people more visual and aware that we are a company and we are a leading company in the industry. So we want to take that to an advantage and take it to another step just because we haven't been there yet.
For example, how many people have heard of Tesla? Raise your hand if you just heard of the car on your own. How many of you that heard of Tesla knew that it was 100% electric, no hybrid? A little bit less. How many of you knew that there was like a minivan style and a sport car style? Even less. So it's like people may or may not have heard of Tesla, but they don't know anything about Tesla. So that's our goal, is to get our name out there more and have people understand who we are as a company.
Yeah, right now everyone thinks electric car is kind of like taboo, like, oh, how's that going to be able to go from point A to point B? Because they see the other cars like our competitors that only have an 80-mile range, and a car like that, you can only go 80 miles on a charge, is pretty much useless. But when you can go 200 or 300 on one charge for free, no gas prices, then people really need to realize that there's a lot of benefits of doing the electric car route.
Another question?
Do you want more orders? Do you want more sales?
Yeah.
Is that what you want ultimately?
Yeah.
As long as we have the means to produce, like for the new model that we have going out, there was only a certain number of slots available. That's why people were lining up 2 days in advance in order to put their deposit down.
Yeah, I'm saying there's a line of 300,000 orders for them. Tesla right now,
Well, that factory, it's going to be done by the end of this year, and it's supposed to be able to produce $500,000 cars a year.
oh really?
That's like or 500,000 batteries for those cars. So like that's like the whole reason, so they can get it, so they can actually like mass produce these cars, so they can get these $35,000 cars out to people.
So at this stage right now, should you be advertising to build more orders or just maintain the brand image?
Because like you said, by the end of the year, we're gonna have this factory done. And so if we start now, it's gonna get the ball rolling. And it's like a snowball. The more it rolls, the more it picks up. And so by the end of the year, we'll be able to fulfill all of the people that we already have.
It'd be a lot better to have like 600,000 orders and 400,000 orders, because if we have to rush and make an extra 100,000 cars, it's a lot better than not getting, like, not meeting what this huge factory was made for.
Right.
So
Did you have a question?
It's not important.
What will be your main advertising? You did very good on the social media part. But what's your main traditional advertising?
Television.
TV.
And reach
50% of our budget is going to television, so.
Very nice, guys. Good job.